let's get ready to get interrupted. Hi, Greg.
Hi, Nick.
Hi, Greg.
Nick, I would never think to interrupt you. How are you this
you
evening, Nick?
ever in a million friggin' years, except for every night we've done Gear Analysis 101. Hey there, YouTubers. Welcome back to
Nick, that's not true at all.
101 with your host, Maxwell Starr. Here tonight, we're actually bringing you a real bona fide BA 101 episode instead of bring your own beer or show and tell, which we've had to rely on because we actually have a beer that's new to sort of and available in both New Brunswick and Ontario. Sadly, not Nova Scotia or Alberta. Otherwise, we'd have more people tonight.
God damn, Alberta.
Yeah, I'm surprised Alberta doesn't have it. But we're going to take a look at Sapporo Black Lager.
Oh, Sapporo, #1 beer.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's get started with who joined first tonight, which was Lady Lee, who's got the beer in front of her face. How you doing tonight, Lee?
I am tired. I'm so sleepy right now.
It's been a very busy week. Fall asleep at work.
That I can't do that. I have like my brain's going the whole time. So as soon as I get home, it's like crash.
Oh, I imagine it would be very difficult to fall asleep in front of your students.
Yeah, they don't have nap time, so
I
can't really take a nap.
You'd be right over there. It's like, all right, 20-hour nap. Here we go.
Yeah, 20 hours. My whole shift. But yes, it's exhausting.
All right. Anyway, speaking of brutal, thank you, Lee. Let's go over to Greg. Hi, Greg.
Hello, Nick. How are you?
I'm not bad. As I was saying, tired.
I'm wearing my oldest albino rhino shirt for you this special day. And look, check this out.
You got the hole in it, so you can give us your rating on 5 fingers through the hole.
Well, since Lady Lee insisted on wearing clothes for this show, I've decided to wear a shirt that gives you the option that there might be a nip slip, and you never know. So I wanted to just keep the show exciting and somewhat sexual.
Greg, I know you're in your 40s, but your nipples don't hang that low.
Do your balls hang low? Do they wobble to the flow?
No, I've been.
Can you tie him in a knot? Can you tie him in a bow?
Can you throw them over your
shoulder like a continental soldier? Do your balls hang low?
My balls are quite tight, actually. Thank you very much. I've been complimented on them.
I would have thought that of your ass. Anyway, so next up, Greg.
My ass is pretty tight too. Thank you, Nick.
What are the way to go in with like this?
Yeah. Okay, you follow that up, Gary. Already lost a viewer. Oh, we got back.
Nothing's dangling over here. I don't. Does my beard hang low? I don't fucking know.
Your beard's kind of hanging. You're hanging with us. I don't know why, but you're hanging.
Because I was able to go find this. So I had to buy a fucking 4-pack. This better be good.
Oh, muffin!
God damn it!
Oh no, we've never done that before.
When you shared the beer store thing where it said like 17 available. It's okay, 7 odd weird random number. They must be singles. I walked in, I'm like, give me 2 cans. I'm coming a 4-pack. Fine, give me a 4-pack. So
what was it per 4-pack though? Was it only like $12.99 or something?
I want to say 15. 15
yeah,
something.
It's cheaper than here. It was like $19 for here.
Wasn't super expensive. Again, it just you know what? As far as like lagers, I generally enjoy a black lager, dark lager. So hopefully this is tasty and I will enjoy and not have to suffer through the other 3 cans, I guess. Yeah, so.
Thank you, Mr. Russell, and have a good shift.
Have the best shift.
You just hop in and say hi to Miss Hardy and nobody else who's beautiful and her favorite teacher. And get ready for work. What's next week's beer? We'll get that well after Lee has gone to work.
Don't forget to wash the poo off your nose before you go to work, Lee.
Yeah.
I just cleaned my butt.
Well, he only gets shit-faced on Saturday nights.
That's what I was talking about for sure.
All right. Okay, yes, the brown noser, right?
There you go.
Okay, brown noser, blue noser. Okay, so
Lee would bring Lee an apple every day, student teacher thing for sure, or something less like. I feel like these days, a student bringing out the teacher's probably going to be like, "Thanks," then they're just garbage as soon as.
I feel Mr. Lee would just paint his balls to look like an apple.
He's buying the cheapest Nova Scotia apples he can.
Those are either That's either something that needs to be medically looked at, or crab apples in season, I guess, kind of thing.
Oh
my
wow.
fucking God. Hey, let's move on.
All right, let's move on. And we're actually hi, I'm doing fine. Let's go back over to Lady Lee and we'll ask her. Do you have any history with this beer?
With Sapporo Black?
Oh,
No.
Yeah, I was supposed to read the history, wasn't it? I haven't done one of
I
these
guess
in a while.
so.
Well, you know what? We're here now. I'll read the history of the beer. Or
Okay.
you want me to read the history? Fuck it. Sorry, Lee. Let's put me up in front. I've just finished a workout, so I'm just a little weird right now. But let's get things straight. Apologies to the viewers who are watching this train wreck. It's a train wreck every
Straight is
week
boring.
sometimes, and that's why you come here. So, Sapporo Black Lager. So, the history of the Sapporo brewery is in the 1860s. In the aftermath of the Meiji Restoration, Japan was undergoing westernization at a rapid pace. In 1869, the Meiji government began development of the northern Japanese island of Hokkaido, and one such business was to be a brewery. In 1876, Saibai Nakagawa recently returned from studying the art of brewing in Germany, and was chosen as brewmaster to oversee construction of the new modern beer factory. In September of 1876, the Kaitek Sushi, hopefully I'm not mispronouncing all these horribly, the
Just call them all
Kaitekushi,
Godzilla.
yes, brewery
Gojira.
opened for business, and Sapporo Lager was born, prominently displaying the pioneer symbol, the North Star, on the label. So I think that North Star kind of represents Hokkaido, because it's the northernmost island in Japan. So in 1886, a local government was established on the island of Hokkaido, and the brewery was subsequently privatized and renamed by its new owners to the Sapporo Brewery Factory. In 1887, another brewery, the Japan Beer Brewery, located in the suburbs of Tokyo, began producing Yabisu beer. By the turn of the 20th century, the competition between Sapporo, Japan Beer, as well as Osaka, which is today's Asahi, and Kirin breweries, Kirin Ichiban, if you've seen that one on the shelf, led to the 1906 merger of Sapporo, Japan, and Osaka breweries into the Dai Nippon Beer Company, which held 70% share of the Japanese market until the end of World War II.
Nippon sounds like Dai Nipple.
Dai Nipple. Well, Nippon is like Japan in Japanese or something that, along those lines. Or in 1949, during the rebuilding of post-war Japan, the Dai Nippon Alliance was split, and the Japanese government's Economic Decentralization Act into Nippon Breweries and Asahi Breweries, Asahi or Asahi. Although Nippon Breweries was the legal heir to the Yabisu and Sapporo brands, they first restarted production with Nippon beer. However, Japanese beer lovers longed for the revival of Sapporo, and in 1956, Sapporo beer production was restored in Hokkaido. The move was successful enough that Nippon Breweries changed its name to Sapporo Breweries in 1964. Sapporo would follow this success by reviving Yabisu beer as a premium brand in 1971, which would become the first 100% barley brew made in post-war Japan. Before that, it was all rice-based lagers, which makes sense because they're like rice-growing country. In 2006, Sapporo purchased Canadian brewery Sleeman's in a $400 million all-cash deal with John W. Sleeman staying on as president. Sapporo would also buy California-based. I wrote this history a while ago, so we all know how this one ended here recently, last year, I think. Sapporo would also buy California-based brewery Anchor Brewing in August of 2017, subsequently drilling that motherfucker into the ground last year. I'm still bitter over that. So, other beers from Sapporo include Yabisu beer, which I don't know if we can get it outside Japan. There's Sapporo Black Label, which is not to be confused with tonight's beer, Sapporo Black Lager. It's like a premium draft beer that's sold in cans in a black can. That one was introduced in 1977. There's Sapporo Light, Sapporo Reserve, and of course the more recently introduced Sapporo Premium Black. All right. As well as, of course, they own Sleeman and Unibrew and make all those products in North America. Sapporo also produced a beer from Space Barley in 2006 using barley grown from seeds that had spent 5 months aboard the International Space Station. Tasters reported that the flavor was no different than normal Sapporo. However, researchers pointed out that this meant there were no effects on the seeds during the extended space flight.
How much money did it cost to send those seeds into space?
Well, I imagine it was like a hell of a promo.
Like that weight is a massive thing when you're sending it costs insane amounts per kilogram or whatever.
Yeah, well, and that also they're talking about growing the actual barley on the space station. Enough barley to make beer with.
Isn't the space station only a few years away from being like?
Yeah, it's like a land. Okay, so
they're gonna purposefully send it into the atmosphere and burn it up.
Yeah, it's like later this decade, like 2028 or 2030 or something.
Go out with a bang, make some beer, I guess. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's gonna go out with a bang over the Pacific Ocean as it breaks up in the atmosphere. All right, Sapporo Black Lager is 5.
Just make a better one.
Little bit of a delay on you, Greg.
Really?
Sapporo Black Lager is a 5% ABV, 19 IBU. Yeah, the IBUs. Haven't heard IBU in a while. Dark lager, released in 2016 and introduced to Canada in 2022. So it's still a fairly new product. That's literally all I could find for history too, because it's very, very lean. Like nobody's interested in macrobreweries, and they just released it with very little information a couple of years ago. So at least with a quick glance on the internet, that's all I could find on it. Okay, so let's go back to where I'd screwed up before. Not that I screw up every episode or nothing. To Lady
Never.
Which we all love talking to, but we might as well talk to her again and see if she's got any history on this beer.
This one in specifics, no. I've had Sapporo before.
Sapporo.
Handled it.
Sapporo.
It was a very uncomfortable episode for me.
Well, yeah, if you anal.
Yeah, well, the
way you just worded that. That was funny.
I wasn't expecting to get that from Lady Lee.
Anal it. It was uncomfortable.
It was uncomfortable.
Perfectly.
Okay.
Perfectly
Okay. Let's keep moving here.
Sorry. Perfectly.
That's it. That's
I love you. You're great.
Thank you. We try.
Awesome. Thank you.
I don't think you do. You don't even try. Yeah, that's right. You don't try. It just happens. So it's fucking awesome.
I'm really tired.
Greg. We all know Greg likes to try though.
I do. I try. I fail. I try again, and then I keep trying.
Try to say goodbye and I choke. Try to walk away.
Your Sapporo looks a bit light over there.
It does. It does. I wanted you guys to be here for history. Now, I was pretty sure. Well, you're actually pretty close, Nick, but not quite. It's an octopi that wants to fight.
You should pour a bit of that Sapporo into that octopus and see if they mix well.
I could do that, but before we do that, so I haven't actually popped open my thing, but I want you guys to see history. Now, I do think I have a Sapporo glass somewhere, but I can't find it. So I think the next best thing, I'd get a silversmith glass because literally they're known for their black lager, and that's about all they're known for. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of dust in this glass. Pretty sure there's a lot of dust in this glass, and unlike Nick, I didn't wash it, so this is going to be a dusty beer.
Silversmith is one of the really places I went to with Mr. Rhino when I went.
They're still around. They bought out Black Oak, so I can actually go to a Silversmith satellite location very close by, and I'm pretty sure Maple Ruski works over there.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, because when I was there last time to buy some beer, I saw him. I saw what I believed to be him at the bar hanging out with some people. I didn't put two and two together who he was until later. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's the Maple Ruski dude."
Was she good with curly hair?
Yeah, last time I remember seeing him was annihilated and getting kicked out of the albino rhino.
Yep.
I'm good for him. So anyway, here we go. I mean, for the 3 sentences I've talked to him before, he seemed like a nice fella. But anyways.
Cheers. I take it that's your history.
That is my history, and I poured the whole can, so I failed carry. But when I get on the second can, I'll do a cuvee with octopus, and we'll see how that goes.
You haven't failed me. You couldn't fail me. I love you.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. On first taste, I think it's better than Silversmith Black Lager.
Ooh. Oh. All right, we got Redbeard. What's your history on this beer? I'm assuming it's around the same.
I've had a drink off camera, so
Oh.
I've got a bit more than Greg going on. Look at me go.
Oh well.
But and then here. That was a big drink. Fuck. Wow.
Magical.
Yeah. It's been a good long while since I've had that the Silversmith Black Lager very randomly will show up at an LCBO, and we'll grab a can or whatever. But I might be kind of with Greg on this is pretty tasty.
We're not doing our review yet.
I'm okay with having to have bought 4 cans at a time. I'm not reviewing yet. I'm just saying.
It's literally giving your opinion on the beer. Stop it.
Spoilers, Gary.
Next person.
It's a preview.
Rich multi-character. No. Okay. Nick Chase.
Right.
Nick has the ability to mute me and fucking get away. It's Nick's fault.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
I
right.
think everybody would be
Yeah.
offended if I leveraged my mute hammer. This
Your
stuff for
mute
something
hammer.
as dumb as this.
We'd be terrified if you ever used your hammer on here.
All right.
Is that
Speaking of using my
nickname
hammer.
the nickname for Nick's penis, the mute hammer. Or that sounds fun.
Right. Okay. So my history with Sapporo Black is not a whole lot longer than everybody else's here. I would like to say that this showed up here maybe a month ago, and I bought a 4-pack, and this is my last can of that 4-pack. But fret not, I went in and bought another 4-pack. So just
thank
really
God.
good night.
Oh,
So rest assured, my impressions have been good on this so far. I don't want to give too many spoilers of what I think of the taste or nothing and rating, but it's worth buying a second 4-pack of.
Greg, that was some good acting. Good acting.
All right, let's shoot the shit. There's no comments. Anybody out there? There's 3 people watching. Anybody who wants to drop a comment, let us know what you're drinking. I want to tell Greg.
Anybody who wants to leave a comment, leave a comment.
who wants to tell me to fuck off?
Nobody. Who would do that?
Everybody wants to tell you to fuck off.
Everybody does. Okay, well,
No, I want to tell you to fuck
everyone
on,
wants to
Greg.
fuck Greg. So
Fuck
I
on,
want,
Greg.
I
Fuck
want
on.
names.
oh look, Beers for Days is in the chat saying cheers, man. Cheers,
Cheers
brother.
for days.
Days. You're drinking
It's
something.
armadillo-
Let us know.
Beers
These
for day, and then you got
armadillos
bit by a bee. Zzz. Oh.
Layla got bit by the bee on her nose, and her nose
It's not
swelled.
Chads.
She got bit by. Did she get stung by a bee or bit by a bee? I feel like bees generally aren't
I
biting.
don't. To be honest, I don't know. She got bit by some sort of bug. I thought it could be a
Right.
bee or a wasp or something, but it could be neither of those.
A wasp can do both. It'll bite you or sting you.
So,
Generally sting you, but wasps are.
generally speaking, I do not know what she got. But hey, she got her blood test yesterday because she's an old dog and she's healthy as a horse. So yay for her, other than her bee sting and her arthritis.
Thanks
But-
for
but-
shooting
but-
us
but
the
what-
live dog, Greg.
You know horses aren't always healthy, right?
Well, she's a healthy horse. She's as healthy as an erect horse dick.
It's like saying sick as a dog and fucking. There's so many stupid or I have to piss like a racehorse. Like
Well,
Why are you
it's a
such
term.
a-
It's a
Why
term
is such
working
a
like a
high horse,
dog.
Greg, here?
Have you ever seen a dog work very hard? My dogs don't work hard. They work less than I
You know
do.
what, these days, I feel like working dogs, unless you're maybe a police dog, and even then, you're probably not really working hard most of the time. But back in the day, they used to do dogs have been so many animals have been just abused into servitude by humans over the centuries. We
Wow,
suck.
that's like a dark turn.
Yeah, I
Much
don't
like
know.
this beer, you're
shit.
getting very dark, Carrie.
There you go. Yeah, I'm trying to keep
Be
them theme.
worse than 20. I'm assuming that's Brandon from work. Hey man, how you doing? Enjoy the show. And don't tell
Oh,
anybody
man,
at work I
it-
swear a lot.
It'll be hilarious if somebody embarrassed Nick.
Oh no!
Print
Don't
that.
do
Crap.
that.
Fuck. I need this
it,
job.
make a QR code that goes to this fucking episode and just put that on the fucking community bulletin board at work.
Yeah, no.
Propeller pumpkin spice. But I was in. It was years ago now. One of my first roommates ever.
Oh yeah.
I was working at the Moose. I'm sure you may not know I worked.
You work at the Moose.
It was
What?
my
You worked at
roommate
the
was
Moose?
my roommate was working at Wendy's at the time, and he
Wendy's?
decided
Your roommate worked at Wendy's? Well, you
He
worked
just-
at the Moose?
he decided that I'm pretty sure I've never said that before. So fuck you, Nick. But he made up a fucking like a poster.
I think
And
later
then-
Lee's going to tell us all to fuck up in a
put
second.
it on a community bulletin board at work. They said he wanted to have a party, and like 100 people showed up at our little 2-bedroom apartment. It was an outrageous evening. But yeah, sorry.
Nick, I think you're safe.
What? I
There
guess
we
there's
go.
very little I know of Brandon, I guess.
Well, so now Brandon and Nick can talk about their cocks online.
Brandon, are you some kind of secret serial killer?
Yes, that's exactly what that comment suggested.
I mean, maybe not so secret.
It didn't not suggest it.
If you need to serial kill anyone,
Confirm
Carrie's in
or
North
deny.
Bay currently.
You guys
It's a
must have heard about that lady that was in Toronto like a week or two ago, right? Like some lady.
Yeah,
like,
she murdered 3 people, and they say based on the definition, she's a serial killer.
well, I did like some crazy, like 3 people in like 3 days or whatever, and just like holy shit, it was pretty crazy.
A woman killing? Who would have thought?
No, not just that, just the randomness of it. Like fucking, like never thought, like I'm walking my dog or something, and some random person might just randomly decide, hey, I'm gonna come up and stab you and kill you to death. Like what the fuck?
Well, you know what? We need more serial killers. It's such a lost art form nowadays.
We need specialized, like we need Dexter.
What?
A serial killer that takes out.
Specialized.
We need good serial killers.
Exactly.
Only takes up
You
people that
need
work at the
serial
Moose.
killers that are a cut above the rest.
Jesus, Nick. Too much.
All right. Going back to
All right.
Brandon's comment about Propeller Pumpkins Spice Day. I'm pretty sure that Propeller Pumpkin's like one of the few out there that actually uses real pumpkin in it these days. Like it's kind of getting scary just how many pumpkin beers are out there that actually call themselves pumpkin, but it's really pumpkin spice.
I feel like most of them do say pumpkin spice, but you assume it's going to have pumpkin, and nowadays most of them don't. Like that, like big the one that me and Guy were at the brewery, Big Rig's Tales of the Patch.
Yeah,
That's one of the
pumpkin
first
porter,
ones.
but it had no pumpkin in it.
Yeah, when they first brewed it, it did. They talked all about how they fire roasted the pumpkins and all this kind of cool shit they did to it, and then next year, now we'll just add some.
And then it was just a
flavors.
fucking pumpkin spice porter afterwards. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I agree. The pumpkin can add like a depth of a weird, not a whole lot of flavor, but there can be a flavor there, and it also can add to the body and stuff like that.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Squash has a better flavor than pumpkin does.
I've never had squash pie, so I'm not gonna. I can't really agree. Honestly, not a big fan of most squash.
Pumpkin pie, and I don't actually know the answer, but I just assume it doesn't have a lot. Like here's a pumpkin, you can't eat it, but it's a.
Well, if like I've my mom I brought pumpkins home.
Pumpkin or something.
Yeah, some like Halloween decoration.
Yeah, it's like a weird
I brought full pumpkins home
Oh my gourd!
and like hauled them all out and then like skinned them and broke it down, pressure cooker, canned pumpkin, and like to make you still need to add like pumpkin on its own doesn't have a lot of flavor, but you add the spices and stuff to make the pumpkin pie, and it's fucking like it's really
It's kind of like almost like a light sweet potato kind of squashy kind of taste.
yeah, really light.
And it's also the body. Like usually the pumpkin thickens the body a little on it.
Yeah, the sweet potato thing you just made there, I agree with that. Like a very mild, sweet potato-y kind of flavor from pumpkin. But like for me, like one of my favorite things,
I am what I am, right?
hollowing out a pumpkin seeds with a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper in the oven. Pumpkin seeds are
that sounds good. I've had the oven roasted, salted pumpkin seeds are like fucking chips.
like that. That's like this time of year, like when I do my 1 time a week delivery stuff. well, not so much this time, but after a little bit after Halloween. If I'm driving around and I go to somebody's house and they have a pumpkin, I'm like, "What you doing with that?" But just throwing it away. I'll take it, bring it home, cut it open, pumpkin seeds. Yeah. I
thought you were. I
love pumpkin seeds.
I thought you were just gonna fucking like smash their pumpkin because you're like, you can't have this after Halloween, damn it! It's Christmas time now.
That would be the best
He's
thing.
gonna correct their pumpkin.
Can I have it? Grab it, grab it just right there, smash it on their fucking thing, and just grab up all the seeds and walk away. Just this big gloopy mass of gross. Yeah. Oh, that'd be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, you just slop it onto your car seat. Just be like, yeah, it'll wash out in the spring. It's
Fuck's
fine.
sakes. No, I've taken very good care of my car so far. I love my new car.
All right. Do we want to start talking about what we think of the beers?
Yeah.
Why not?
All right. Let's start with the Lady of the Lee.
Lady of the Lee.
Give her
Here I am.
special Lady of the Lake kind of.
Yeah, sounds like she's like.
Well, she is pretty magical, right?
She's a quest, but she's a quest or something. It sounds like. I don't know.
What?
It'd be nice if she could actually talk, but for some reason she can't.
She can't. No, just can't happen.
That's happening all night.
I think it's just because you're tired. Not that I want to mansplain how you're feeling.
Jesus Christ, Nick.
Jesus fucking. Oh, well done. Well done.
And somehow Nick is just worse than Carrie.
I hope so. No.
Okay.
Brush my hair.
Mm.
We're good? Okay. Thank
good.
you.
Nice to have hair.
Pardon me?
Yeah.
You got a hair
It's
shimmer
nice,
now?
nice to have hair.
Throwing
Yeah.
your hairy head in her faces.
At least you have a
She's
dog
throwing
that's
some
alive.
hairy dick in her face.
I have
Well
Long hair
played.
dick.
Well played, Lady.
several,
I have.
several dogs that are alive.
I
At
got
least I think
Oreo.
so. They might be dead
Hello.
now, but I think they're alive.
Hello. Oh, is it
Look at
growl?
the cute Oreo.
Mm.
There you go.
Oh, his growls are so
Growly
cute. I
teddy
mean,
bear.
if he just turned around, bit off Redbeard's nose, it'd be hilarious. All right, anyway, beer review.
All right,
back
let's
to
go.
Lily
Let's
now.
go, Lily.
Whatever. So surprisingly enough, this beer is a lot tastier than I thought it was going to be.
Jesus.
It's really surprising. Okay, so it threw me off guard because for whatever reason, the can. Okay, first of all, visually the can looks like Guinness. Just when you look at it quick, not saying when you look at it obviously like this, it's fine, but it's just the design and everything's very similar. So when you look at it really quickly, you just see a Guinness can. So my brain like automatically associates it with Guinness, and I really hate Guinness. Like I do not like it whatsoever, as we've discovered the time we anal that one.
Yes.
This, I took the first sip and it was shockingly delicious. It just threw me through a whole different set of emotions than I had anticipated. So it's good. It's a good beer. Oh, excuse me. What flavors I taste, I don't know. There's flavor behind it. You definitely get like the malty taste for sure. But it's also nice because like I get scared of like darker beers. So again, thoroughly surprised. But this one doesn't have like a really harsh aftertaste either, which I can really appreciate. So it is a fine tasting beer. Is it the first black lager I have? I don't remember. So I have nothing to base my comparison on because I have no recollection if I've had another one. I feel like I have had, but I cannot remember. So, but this is like one that stands tall to others, that people should look up to it and try and beat it because it's good. So,
Oh my god.
style-wise,
I love the
I
last
don't know what
sentence you just said.
thank you.
It stands tall and people should look up to it. That was so. Oh, that was
Stop being a
clip worthy.
Ricky Weaker, Carrie.
I'm sorry. I love you, Lady. I love you.
No.
I'm so tired tonight. So sentences
I
are
know,
hard.
I know, but it's coming through in the
She's
most
got
adorable way.
ADHD. You're distracting her with your own ADHD there, Carrie.
Leave my ADHD alone.
My issue is with school is very stimulating, like entirely stimulating. And then I come home and shut down, and then I'm like, wow, I'm fucking exhausted. So it's very hard to do anything else. Okay, beer style. I don't know. I have nothing really to compare it to, and I think this one's really good. So I cannot give it like a perfect mark because I don't know how to compare it, but I also gonna give it a hard mark because I have nothing to say that it's better or worse. So I'm just gonna give it a 9 for style. Just straight out, because like I said, I have nothing to compare it to. But it tastes really good.
Enjoyable.
And personal preference. I think I'm gonna go 8.5.
Oh wow!
Ooh.
You did a
just-
drum roll
Wasn't
sound
expecting
effect.
that from you.
That was like drum roll worthy right there. The way you built that up, that was great.
It surprised me. It definitely surprised me. So
Wow.
it threw me through a loop. It was definitely a
Threw
combination
you
that I wasn't
through a
anticipating.
loop. I like it.
Well, it won't be hard. Won't be hard to finish the rest of the 4-pack, will it?
It won't be. I was gonna say I've got a weekend of. Oh no, I gotta no. No, I gotta do some pretty serious lesson planning. But I have a weekend.
You can just down the whole 4-pack tonight. You'll be
Yeah,
fine.
well, that's right. Chug.
I have a weekend. I'll drink it this weekend. Maybe I'll
That's
give
a
one to my
short
dad. Let's see what he says.
Oh,
He might like it. He's kind of like
He likes
You know what?
English.
That'd be a
Like
random thing that would be fun. I don't know, like give your dad, them taste it, like record it and send it to the chat and give us
or even just tell us what he
give
thinks.
us some of your dad content that we all crave so much.
Great. I understand why I'm on the chat. You just want to chat with my dad.
Yeah, we're literally been trying to get to
He
your
is
dad
our,
3 years.
Your dad
Fitness
is
hero.
legit a fucking like legendary, incredible example of a human.
legendary
Like, straight-
creature.
Like not that you're not badass yourself, but your dad is, he's been around longer, established, just out of the shit that he's done, despite his limitations and stuff. Like fucking, it's nothing short of like he should be in the same fucking writings. This is gonna sound. Some people might disagree, but fuck you. He should be in the same tier as Terry Fox in terms of like what he's done with it, like what he's like. This he hasn't done any marathon of hope. Your dad's do marathon hope. I don't know. I don't could he even do that. I don't know.
This has been a journey.
It really has.
I'm pretty sure I need to get you a cloth for your nose if you're cool with that. Just wipe it off a bit.
Oh,
I've become male Lee. Oh shit!
oh,
Come full circle.
No, like
That's why I
you know
said
what?
it.
You know what? This one time I've done. Greg is the one who is constantly doing the whole like Bob Hardy is super. This is the first time I've ever really given your dad any kind of like big praise. So screw
First
you
of
in
all,
terms of that.
the
but
reason
no.
I said it was
No
because
clue.
you said it to Lee earlier. So
That's
I just full
valid. It's
circled
valid.
it
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
as a mock street
But
to you.
I'm still defending myself because I'm like, no, you know what? You're
Secondly-
not, well played, but no, fuck you.
Secondly, Greg doesn't give speeches. He makes occasional comments, but you made a speech.
That was pretty speechy, Carrie.
It was heartfelt. You go to hell. It was.
All
It
right.
was well. I love your dad. He's
Okay.
good shit.
All right, thank you, Lady Lee.
I met him one time. I did meet him one time.
Okay, good,
Sorry, go
Carrie.
ahead.
All right, so let's go
It
over
was
to Greg.
good.
Thank
It
you,
was
Lee.
awesome.
I've yet to
Greg, you
ever.
get to follow. You get to follow Miss Hardy up on that one.
I've yet to ever meet Terry Fox Hardy, but I look forward to at some point. Anyways, Sapporo. I have not had this before. I have had several black lagers before. I don't care for black lagers. I think most black lagers suck. This one does not, and I'll tell you why. And I can't tell you exactly flavor note wise what it is, but it reminds me of a Dunkel, a dark wheat beer. For those of you who don't know what Dunkel is.
Okay.
Oh my goodness! Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
Jeez.
And that's the flavor notes, and those are the black lagers I like. And there's a few of them here and there that have that taste to them. You're like, oh, this is like a dark wheat beer, but it's not. Like most black lagers, just like, oh, this just tastes like a lager with dark malt, and I've never really liked that combination very much. So black lagers usually are not a good style for me. I mean, I don't hate them or anything, but I'll only drink them if that's kind of what's available, and I have no other choices. I will say, as a macro beer, I don't know. Maybe Nick knows, or maybe Carrie knows. I don't know, or maybe Lee knows. I don't know. But I don't know if regular Sapporo has corn syrup in it or not. But I certainly don't taste corn syrup in this. If it is there, I don't. It's very well hidden because I don't get it at all. I wouldn't even know this is a big macro beer. If you just gave this to me blind. So
It's Japanese, so it's probably rice.
that's what I sort of assumed, is that it was rice instead of, I mean, that's why I know a lot of people hate Budweiser, but I actually prefer rice to, it is Budweiser that has rice, right?
Sapporo? I don't think it's made with rice anymore.
We know of no beer that costs so much to brew, but blah blah blah.
Okay.
Budweiser.
I don't know, but that's why I generally like Budweiser more than I like stuff like Molson products and stuff like that. Cause I'm very sensitive to corn syrup and I really hate the stuff. Whereas, rice doesn't bother me nearly as
I
much.
feel like 20 years ago.
The phrase "Greg is very sensitive" to any that just makes me giggle. I don't know.
Yeah, when I hear the word
I love you,
sensitive, it
Greg.
isn't
I love you,
Greg.
Greg.
Comes
Yeah,
to
exactly.
All right, let Greg
I'm
finish.
very sensitive.
I'm very sensitive. Okay. So stop hurting my feelings, please.
Like stuff that comes out of the oven.
Oh.
Anyways, so I will match Lady Lee's style score of a 9 out of 10 because this is up there for a black lager. I have had ones that are better, but not too many of them, and I'd have to go through my Untapped to figure out what those are. And considering my Untapped reviews are pretty half-assed, I may not even be able to tell you. So, but I have had ones that are better, but I don't know which ones. And for my own personal preference, well, before we go to personal preference, let's do a little mixeroo here, shall we?
Oh goddamn.
Cuvée. Hey, listen, I've retired the Chalet sauce. I'm only mixing beer together now, so
Yeah, which is
I feel I'm improving myself. So basically, more or less, this is more or less a 50-50. I mean, the Sapporo on its own is definitely darker, but I mean, color-wise, it's not that far off. Smell-wise, you definitely get an octopus from this, and taste-wise,
Octopus?
yeah, tastes
Tastes like a little pussy.
I mean, actually, it's pretty octopusy. Lady Lee is on par with that. Like I would say,
It's turned into octopus wants some Sapporo.
This is basically you could just make this beer and call it Octopus Ink or something, because octopuses make ink, or is that only squids?
No, they both do. They both do.
Okay, I'd have to, all right, good. I was going to have to look it up in the National Geographic magazine. Yeah, so I mean, cuvee wise, I mean, this doesn't taste the flavor. It's still a 90% octopus wants to fight. So cuvee, 2 thumbs up. This beer overall, I give it a 8 out of 10. It's something I would enjoy. I wouldn't be too upset to drink. If that's all if I came to Nick's house and the only thing Nick offered me is Sapporo Black because he bought too many for BA 101 and didn't want to drink them, I wouldn't be too upset at him.
No, I'd be drinking those first.
I guess I'll drink Nick's milk.
There will be some in my fridge probably because I'll buy more.
Okay, well, I'd probably drink Nick's Miller Lite then. Well, he drank the good stuff.
Oh, yeah, the Miller Lite's all gone. You can drink some of that Slim and Clear 2.0.
Oh, there we go. That sounds fantastic.
That diet beer that I bought.
With every sip, I can feel myself losing weight.
There you go.
Diet beer.
I've lost 2 pounds since Saturday, so drink.
There you go. There you go. And it wasn't just the massive dump you took.
Oh no, that's before the dump.
Oh,
so you lost 6 pounds that day? Holy shit!
That's right. I get to weigh myself tomorrow morning and just like, oh look, I lost 4 pounds taking a shit.
Fun fact about weight loss: pee weighs a lot more than poop does. Weigh yourself right
Really?
before and after a poop, and you'd be surprised how even a massive poop doesn't weigh that much.
Really?
Yeah.
I suppose it's not as dense as pee, is it? But go for a pee before you weigh yourself.
Oh yeah, pee. You pee and you'll lose a pound easily. Like a poo, you'll be like
Humans basically poo styrofoam, brown styrofoam.
There we go.
All right. On that note, thank you, Greg. Let's go over to Poo Face here. The brown noser.
Just poo nose, to be fair.
Fuck, I wish I had some kind of pudding or something I just smeared on my face.
We got a bunch of comments from Brandon. We'll read those here in a bit. I know he doesn't watch a lot of these episodes, but we usually go through all this first before.
I first have to say, Lady Lee, I
just don't want you to think we're not.
I just your Guinness comparison. Guinness has a big harp. This has a big star. Guinness.
That's why I said in passing, not looking at
Guinness.
it. When you see it, look at it.
I don't.
In passing.
If you run by the aisle, there's a resemblance. That's all she's saying.
If you run by in your peripheral vision, then okay, maybe. But
that is the reason.
Well, it's got a big black can and it's got a yellow star on it. It's kind of like the yellow harp and a black can of Guinness. Maybe not quite. It's like more of a matte finish.
It is not identical.
Now who's got the brown nose, Nick? Hey, now
it is not identical.
I'm speaking truth. I'm saying not fire.
Yeah, you're spitting fire, fucking.
Hey, we got.
I'm going to agree across the board. This is a fantastic example of I was like, make me buy 4 beers. Fuck you, beer store. But this is
That's not your first beer, is it?
This is number 2.
Nice.
This is like I've had better. This doesn't have quite as much of the kind of roasty coffee thing. Where a black lager, for me, like it should be like the lager basically mixed with a stout. That's where and like there's not so much of the stout coming through. It's still tasty, but it's not the best black lager I've ever had. So for me, I'm going to kind of bring the style down a bit. I'm going to go 7.5. Enjoyment, though, I'm going to go 8. This is very tasty, and it's far exceeded my expectations. So go with that. But yeah, again, I don't see what Greg said. If you're running down the aisle, then that
running too quickly, you're looking for Guinness. You might grab a Sapporo by accident.
Literally said that, but that's okay.
Well, listen, you're dealing with literal beard here, so you gotta work within the box you're given.
That's why I gave a pretty clear explanation.
A Sleeman clear.
Make it super clear.
Clear 2.0 explanation.
Yeah, it wasn't quite there. It was almost. But anyway, that's
it
my
is not
opinion.
my fault. You do not understand.
It is your fault. All your fault.
Oh, it's always someone else's fault.
You are getting a failing grade, and you are going to have to redo the year again.
Yes, Carrie.
You're getting held back another year because so many spelling mistakes.
And he ate dirty snow.
Oh. Love it, Carrie.
Sure. Why not?
Sure. Okay, thank you, Carrie. Let's go over to my opinion. The opinion that everybody's been waiting for. A Sapporo Black Lager. I don't think I really have to say too much at this point because this is surprisingly good for a macro-made black lager. This is pretty much spot on what you would expect to get out of something like this. Like, it's tasty. It's like Greg hit it on the nose. It's kind of like a Dunkel. And my first thought when you said Dunkel was like, fuck you, Greg. No, that's all I fucking taste. Jesus. I wouldn't take any opportunity to say fuck you, Greg. But yeah, I mean, I'm getting out of this. I'm getting like the toasted malts, like the chocolate, hints of coffee. It is a bit on the cardboardy side when you first drink it and it's finished a little. But it's super easy drinking. It's super flavorful. And it goes down easy. Like, I've said that twice.
Oh, you like
And
to go
it
down
does
easy.
it does honestly taste like an authentic Schwartz beer or something. Like and I'm surprised. Like this is, and you know what? I've always liked Sapporo. Like Sapporo.
Oh.
I had the original Sapporo back when it was still made, like the ones that were still made in the cans that you could use as a club. They were so thick aluminum. They were brewed in Japan. I miss those, but they were super super tasty, super dry. This one's not quite as dry as Sapporo regular lager, but this one has got all the flavor you want. Like if you're looking for an inexpensive black lager, this is great, a great alternative.
Great. Sorry.
Great. So yeah, I'm gonna give this.
That's a great review.
I'm gonna give it actually. I was gonna give it an 8, but I'm gonna give it an 8.5 for style because it's hard to do better. I mean, I'm looking through my history on my channel of all the black lagers and Schwartz beers I've done. I can't really think of much that's really better than this. Maybe Kostritzer, which is like one of my favorite black lagers of all time, the Schwartz beer. This is tasty. I can't disagree, and I'm going to give it an 8 for the overall enjoyment, which is pretty in line with what everybody else is saying. That's a pretty strong opinion from everybody. We'll show our ratings in here in a moment. But yeah, I would say that if you, and I'm actually kind of impressed, like with Lady Lee talking about, I know you hate stouts, and there is a little bit of the flavor profile of this is kind of similar to Guinness, but there's enough of it different that somehow you like this when you normally hate stouts.
Yep.
That's pretty cool, I find. Because
Yep, that's usually the case.
And like I mentioned, this is my second 4-pack of it. I'm already on the first can. I got 3 cans left. I can't complain with this beer.
Neither
it's
can
tasty. All right, I'm going to do the math on this thing here. Anybody want to read the remaining comments, which are mostly Brandon?
I can read them.
Ooh, Brandon's going to get Lady Lee to read his comments.
No,
right.
sleep for reading.
It's gonna be weird when Nick finds Brandon sexy at work tomorrow.
Gross.
Oh,
I think make things awkward.
Brandon, sorry, man. Fuck.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, Nick. That was uncalled for.
What?
Gross.
Okay, we talked about the pumpkin spice.
Yeah.
Outside of work. Okay, I am not a fan of any dark beer at all. So props to all of you. LOL. Thank you.
You haven't tried the right dark beer.
This is one of those moments where there are dark beers that are more enjoyable for those of us who don't like stouts.
The world of beer is infinite. There's, yeah. Sorry, go on.
Because there's many people. Greg.
Hi.
Recommended many stouts, and I've hated them all.
Literally. Well, to be fair, so does Agnes too. So you and her are peas in a pod.
No, perfect.
I almost think like with
I'm gonna
Lady
steal
Lee,
your wife.
I know you hate like Double
Sexy,
Tempest. You
sexy
didn't
pod.
like Double Tempest, which is like peak stout.
Dumple Tempest.
What
the fuck's a Dumple Tempest?
Double Tempest. You've had Double Tempest and you didn't like it. I don't know.
We
Maybe you just
posted a
didn't like
review of
stouts.
Lady. I don't feel Double Tempest is something that if you don't generally have some affinity towards stouts to begin with, I don't feel Double Tempest is something that would change your mind about that. It's like all the beer nerds get boners for it, or barrel-aged stouts in general, but I don't necessarily feel that somebody who doesn't like dark beers to begin with is going to necessarily like them.
Left Field has a like marshmallow something stout in the LCBO right now that literally tastes like a roasted marshmallow. Like it's one of those, like if you don't like a stout, try that.
Well, Lady Lee did enjoy the stout. That was what was it? The Guinness. I think it was the Guinness stout. That was like a sweet coffee or something. If maybe it wasn't.
No, it
Guinness.
was
that weird one. I can remember that.
Wasn't it the one that everybody hated and I liked it?
We weren't big fans. Most of us found it too sweet, but you enjoyed
That was
it.
What again? Like sorry, go.
They had
I'm
two
sorry,
of
go.
them. There was. Oh my goodness. I don't remember. It wasn't Guinness. It was something else.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about though. They had like a regular one and then the sweet coffee one. I don't remember what it is either.
And everyone
Wasn't-
hated the coffee one, and I liked it. Yeah.
Remember the what brewery is that had the milkshake stout pack or something for a couple of years
we
around
looked
Christmas
that up a
time.
while ago. I can't
Remember that?
remember. It was like rock something.
Yeah,
from
but no,
the-
again,
from the
like it's
States.
one of those stouts is one of those things where you have if you, a traditional stout is going to be kind of bitter, roasty, like it's going to be very beery. But a stout is one of those styles where like the milkshake stout and stuff you can add to it and make it into this like the dessert pastry stout kind of style. Like give that to somebody who doesn't like stouts, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is fucking like it's like a liquid chocolate bar kind of thing." Some of them, it's
Rochester Mills. That's what it was.
nuts.
It was Rochester
Yes,
Mills.
yep, that was it. Good call, Nick.
Yeah.
You got it.
Well, I mean, that's why
I
it's
didn't
good.
even have
There's
to
a lot
look that
of
up. I
a
just
lot
remembered
of
it.
there's. That's why it's good. There's different beers for different people. Because I don't like a lot of sweet beers, but a lot of people do, and people
That's
them.
a
People like them.
good
Again, like,
high rating. Yes, it was. Thank you.
That's higher than I was expecting, to be honest.
It's higher than Carrie right now, but not for long.
That Sleem and Clear
give
is
Carrie-
actually
give Carrie
decent
time.
for a light beer. I buy that when I want to drink a lot of low
You know
calorie
what?
beer.
I drank a Miller Lite in a Sleeman Clear 2.0 back to back, and I got more flavor out of the Sleeman for some reason. Like, not that I
Maybe the
really
person
drink
opened up their
both
taste
on a regular
buds. Nick.
basis, so I wasn't on a diet.
Maybe.
But
I'm usually a rum drinker, though. LOL. I am also a rum drinker.
yeah, I drank way too much rum last weekend.
I like.
I've been telling Brandon at work my rum escapades too. Like I like.
Have you told them about El Dorado rum? Brandon needs to get on that bandwagon. If
you like rum, El Dorado
Legendario.
12 is fucking tasty.
Sour Jerry. Spice
Legendario.
rum.
Sorry, which
Sour Jerry's okay.
Mixed with Coke, it's fucking becomes a vanilla Coke.
Kraken.
I love it. Kraken's great as well. Yep.
I think you can still get. Oh, sorry, Legendario. I think you can still get. I think you can get in Canada, but it's really expensive. But I got it in Cuba, and every time we went, we tried to get as many bottles as we humanly could because that was fucking delicious. That was the best.
A lot of the good Cuban rum you can't get in Canada. They don't export it.
They used to have Legendario. Unfortunately, I've seen like they don't. One that's really good. There's a distillery close to us in North Bay, like close to North Bay. They have pirate rum. It's fucking tasty.
Like Copperhead?
Okay, I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, Copperhead. Yeah, we tried it, or I bought a bottle for Lee when I went to Nova Scotia, and he pretty much drank that all in one night.
Oh, I remember that stuff. Yeah, we tried it at the Amsterdam. Yeah, Brandon will find this funny. The Amsterdam and Quispamsis. That's where we were for the Quispamsis piss up.
Brandon in the chat said
we all stayed there, and Lady Lee here swam in the pool at the Wi-Fi worked that day.
Lady Lee swimming in a pool? I don't believe you, Nick.
They did. Prove it the whole time.
And I ate seafood? Yeah, you're lying.
Oh.
He's not a fan of dark rum usually. I like the spiced rum. I'm not a big fan of like just regular rum, personally. I'll drink a rum and Coke, but I would far prefer a spice rum or dark rum and Coke. It's just there's way more depth of flavor I find in those rums.
So I'll tell you guys.
Let me get in the comments and hold your thing. Haha, he
my
says.
ears.
Sorry, I have been ranting. LOL. Yes,
Sorry,
I am
we
not
all
a fan
rant
of stout
here.
at all.
Put you on the fucking channel.
I have never had a stout I have liked at all. There was one that I tried, and that's the one we were talking about that I liked.
Nick, you got to give him homework.
Look at the dessert stuff and stuff.
Is it something weird?
Like Jamie gives me homework movies at work. I should give you some beer assignments to try.
There you go, Nick.
Nick,
every week you need to give him 2 beers to try. One that's a little bit more simple, one that's a little more complex, and to help develop his palate.
If only we had something complex left in New Brunswick.
My best friend.
Brandon's like, yes.
In Halifax, we hit up 5 or 6 breweries and had flights from all of them, and I never liked a stout. LOL. It's rare that I like a stout. It's super rare.
Observation.
I'm almost done. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll be done shortly.
Yeah, probably more of a dessert stout person. Like give him one of those like lactose infused fucking something like you never even know it's a beer kind of stout.
I just want to point out that we got like half a second of Bob Hardy content.
There you go.
We just did.
I have
These-
never tried a different flavored stout, though. I guess all
Yeah,
of
you
the
really gotta
stouts
try it. Like a whiskey or a rum barrel aged or a bourbon barrel aged with imperial stout. You gotta
You
try.
just need a really
That's
sweet
like
one. That's
that
Well,
is a whole
again,
different
legally you won't
world.
like it.
Yeah,
Again,
like-
as we discussed, though, not everyone loves them. Even if you don't like
Well, no,
stouts, you may not necessarily like those.
this guy's saying rum and
Still
whiskey are his go-to drinks. I feel like he might enjoy like a whiskey barrel aged stout. Might be up
I
his
feel
alley.
the flavor profile between drinking whiskey. Now, again, I don't know what he likes. Like, does he like straight up whiskey or rum, or does he like to mix it with Coke? If he likes to
I'm
mix
pretty
it
sure
with
mixing.
Coke, well, mixing, then you might get the flavors you're looking for. Because I think drinking whiskey straight or rum straight versus drinking a barrel aged stout in those respective liquors, very different tastes. Like,
Oh no,
I
but
don't,
like
I don't think you can even compare
I'm
them.
so
back.
close.
I know
I'm so close.
I would say the whiskey can come through in the smell and in the taste in a pretty big way with a barrel aged.
Sometimes
So
not.
close.
But it depends for sure. Keep going.
Lee,
I'm
do you
sorry.
want
Keep
to
going,
finish?
Keep going.
Oh
Let her
wow,
finish.
that was actually
Let Lee
that's
finish.
incredible.
Let
We're
Lee
about,
finish.
we're about to
I don't
watch her
know.
finish.
Thank you. I actually find it the best quality for the calorie limit. So I assume that's seeming clear.
That's okay.
Oh, nice. That is awesome. Haha. Always
Talking about the Amsterdam
Yes.
quiz man.
Hello. I always tried many types of beer. Whatever.
The access points and the Wi-Fi in the building. Yeah. That's fucking annoying.
I don't drink straight. No, I thought you said I don't do straight, which I laughed. I have the odd occasion to try, but I don't drink it straight. That is the
I feel like
comment.
there's like a certain price
Let me
limit. If
finish.
it's like an expensive rum or expensive whiskey, I'll drink it straight, or maybe with a drop of water in it, because you got to honor the whiskey or the expensive spirit.
I'll try
But
it.
there's a lot of junk. Like I wouldn't call it junk. El Dorado's like the borderline whiskey. Like if you want to mix it or drink it straight.
Like a friend of mine, a friend of mine I used to have would bring over some fancy whiskeys and shit, and try this, and I could get a little bit of a hint of something maybe now and then, but overall, it's just like I'm basically drinking turpentine. I remember just straight anything like hard. I think 30% in the bike, even Southern Comfort. It's up around 30, I think. Like anything like hard-ish, that range, drinking it straight, it just burns me. Sorry, Nick.
I remember this was a few years ago. I remember going over to a buddy's place and drinking. He had some 25-year-old Highland Park. He gave me a shot of it, and I just went thinking that's what I'm supposed to do with spirit. I just took a fucking shot of 25-year. That shit's like probably like $400
and
more.
And he's like, yeah, Nick, we're never
like,
inviting
get the
you
fuck
over
out of my
again.
house.
Get lost.
I will try a whiskey straight, but it don't sit. Whoa, but I don't.
Okay,
sit
that's
like
fair. Yeah.
Straight.
Well, I feel like a drum for
that makes sense.
Dram to warm you up is good.
Well,
I would. Sorry, go.
Well, I was just gonna say. I mean, there's certain whiskeys. Like it's not even a snobbish thing. It's like if you're not going to enjoy a whiskey straight, like a good Scotch or a good bourbon, or hell, even a high end Canadian whiskey, or those usually aren't that good to begin with. But if you're not going to enjoy that straight, then you may as well not spend the money. And I mean, again, if somebody's offering it to you, whatever, enjoy it, try it. But it's like, like if I was just going to always mix my whiskey, Canadian Club would be perfectly fine for that, or Alberta Premium, or whatever the fuck else you want. Like, I wouldn't spend more than about $30 a bottle, or whatever whiskey costs now, $30-$40 a bottle.
I think Nick just got asked out on a date.
Yeah, sure. Well, he was at what happened? He was telling me about this at work. There was supposed to be this tequila expo with mariachi band and tacos and all kinds of different tequilas.
Tacos.
They were supposed, but if they canceled it, if they ever do it again, like I'd totally go with you, Tanner and Jamie. That'd be fun.
Because I'm gonna go watch a movie.
All right, we're gonna
keep talking about
still having a day. We love you.
Bye.
Thank you, Lee.
Bye,
Say hi to Bob Hardy for us.
I will. Have a good night.
All right. Okay, so that puts me back up in front of the center. So I'm going to introduce this, which is the scores for tonight's beer. 8.5 for style.
Not bad.
8.1 for overall enjoyment. Too bad Lady Lee is not here to see this.
I kind of feel like I don't feel like my head was that picture looks. My head was pretty much white. that seems kind of chocolatey and lying.
Well,
I don't know. I
then
pulled
Nick-
this.
Nick
I
has
pulled
failed
this
us all.
picture off a Google search. So
No. That's fair enough. I'm
I just want to respond to the 40 Creek comment. I haven't had 40 Creek for a while, but unfortunately, since that's been sold to the big conglomerate and John Hall doesn't make it anymore, that used to be by far the best Canadian whiskey. It's gone downhill majorly. Now, I imagine if you're mixing it, it's probably totally fine. But that used to be a fucking amazing sipping whiskey. Like, and Canadian whiskeys usually aren't that good for sipping. And unfortunately, it's gone downhill. Now, apparently, he sold it for something like a lot of money, like $2 billion or something like that. So I'm just like, hey, if I was in his position, the dude's old. He's like in his 80s.
Wait. It's like, are you exaggerating? It's like actually $2 billion?
It was. I might be over exaggerating, but it was a lot of money. It was enough money that you couldn't spend it for like.
Okay,
I actually want to look this up, but
I want to say like maybe a couple $100 million, maybe like that. Even not. There's no way it was even one. Like
I mean, normally I could just throw out a number and nobody would care, but we got Carrie, who's in his obsessive state that he has to fact check everything.
You said $2 billion. I'm sorry, that just seems outrageously huge to me. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to fact check.
I mean, most people probably wouldn't be bothered by it, but yeah, that's just you.
I love you,
okay.
Greg.
So Carrie has called me out. So they did sell it. It was less than $2 billion. I'll give you that, a lot less. In 2014, it was sold for 186 million. So a lot less than 2 billion, but still a lot of money.
What was this again? Like for some
40 Creek.
There's a 40 Creek.
The distillery.
So it used to be independently owned. It was independently owned by John Hall, and he sold it. And he's quite up there. Like he's probably close to 90 at this point. So I'm like, hey, buddy, I would take the 186 million and fucking live out the rest of your
Greg?
days.
I gotta give it to you. It was just off. It was just off.
Just slightly off. Like it was like we're dealing with pocket change here, really.
Like not even 200 million. It's 2 billion. I love you.
All right.
I love you, man.
I can't throw out fake numbers of Carrie's here.
No. Again, if you had said 100 million, okay, but you said 2 billion. You went so extreme with it. I had
Carrie
to
likes
be like,
to talk
what?
a lot. All right, so
yourself.
So Lee asked the question at the very start of the chat, at the very start of the episode. What is next week's beer? We are going to do Collective Arts Deceptive Creature IPA number 28, which, Carrie, is available at the Highway 11 and Highway 17, 1711 Algonquin Avenue store in North Bay. You can get this now.
Well, how about that? I was there today and didn't look at that.
See this beer.
I walked in.
Buy some more Sapporo Black.
I walked in. Well, no, that I walked to the beer. But I went to the LCBO today. I hadn't seen the chat, didn't know about the beer store being able to get the beer for tonight. So I went to the LCBO, bought a few cans of Haze Moa, didn't look anywhere else for new stuff. Didn't even glance. Like Collective Arts is like over in the far right corner.
Obviously, you're like one of those hobos that goes in and just goes for the Fax 10. You just go for Haze Moa and walk out.
Hell yeah, Fax 10. Can we do
I know what I want. I know what I want. I guess, but
you know what you want. You just go grab an armload of fucking Haze Mama and walk out.
It's good shit. But again, yeah, like I wouldn't have even had the beer tonight unless I looked at the chat and was like, "Oh, he's there." So ran to the beer store, grabbed that. So I will tomorrow go and get the beer for next week.
All right. So what was? I just want to finish the comments. I know Brandon's been chatting up a storm here, so he's like, "I likes 40 Creek."
I like Brandon. He talks a lot. I like him.
Yeah. It's actually good to have somebody in the chat chatting. So
that's why I love live streaming.
Yep. You're gonna invite you, but got postponed. You know, that Tequila Expo does sound interesting.
Tequila and tacos. Yes.
I think he was talking about that. That might have been when you're talking when the distillery sold.
Yeah.
Get what you're saying. He's actually agreeing with Greg. That's uncalled for.
Wow. Nick is gonna hit you at work tomorrow.
Yeah.
With his
You agreed
car.
with Greg? Fuck you. All right. So can you get me one, Nick? I'm assuming you mean Collective Arts. I'll have to check to see if I get another one at the liquor store. I got this.
But you know what? If it is this, if
And
he
yeah,
was
of course. Yes, this is at the A and BL stores. I got this.
Yeah,
in, like,
get
East Point.
Brandon on here next week.
yeah, why not? Brandon, join us. Why the fuck
Yeah,
not?
if you want to come on, man.
I mean, you'll have to deal with this, but yeah, you'll be all right.
Yeah, you have to deal with Redbeard talking.
And also Greg's alive nipple.
Nick, I'm gonna
Quay.
slap you. You're getting
Quay.
next time I see you in person, you're getting a backhand straight up. Fucking asshole. Jesus Christ.
You know that's not gonna happen. You're just gonna have everyone slap you again, then Scott
He's
will
gonna
hit you in
stick
the
to
ear.
the chat with him now.
No, like the backhand to the balls. For hey Nick with bat.
Oh, like when the time that Greg walked up behind Chris Lizak at the Albino Beer Fest, and it's like, hey, have you seen Chris's 14-inch guy?
I said that to the girl at the stand that he was trying to chat up, and afterwards, I'm pretty sure she had sex with him, or she never talked to him again. One or the other. I can't remember.
It was the latter. You embarrassed the fuck out of him, and he ended up walking away.
That sounds about right. Listen, Chris was getting some good sexual action for several years, and I take full credit for that, even though I've literally never met his ex lady. But
yeah, right.
I'm pretty sure I got them together because of his 14-inch penis. Also, any single ladies in the Niagara region, message me. I'll give you Chris's contact information.
All single ladies. All single ladies. All single ladies. All single. Why is this beer analysis still online? What's happening right now?
Who's chatting? Who said that?
What?
Yeah, it's like, oh, there we go. There's Carrie's 14-inch penis.
There's the penis. All right. Well, anyway, we're gonna take this shit offline. So tune in next week. We're gonna do another actual BA 101 instead of a BYOB.
Yeah.
That never happens twice in a row anymore.
We love it.
So we love it. Yeah. So tune in next week for Deceptive Creature. We are all Deceptive Creature. Want to thank Brandon for showing up tonight. It was cool having you in the chat. And Beers for Days, you were also there. Lee Russell's at work. We can tell him, F himself later. I want to thank everybody for watching, and we will chat with you folks later.
Cheers, motherfuckers.
Good gander at Carrie's penis.
Pumpkin penis.